The Calgary Boxing Club is a non-profit organization where the trainees are high-level athletes that put tremendous effort towards their boxing goals almost every day of the week.
Good. Bring your hands up. Saying that shit. Yeah. I don't even want to.
What's your name?
My name's Sheikh Mohammed.
So I got a few questions to ask you about boxing. Is that okay? Okay. So what benefits have you noticed from boxing physically and mentally?
Physically, I feel better about myself, just weight-wise, and mentally, I'm not angry as much as I used to be, just because I could take it out on a bag. And just sparring and everything, you get to take it out on each other. So you're just better mentally and physically.
What do you love about boxing?
Everything. From the coaches down to the people you help, just everything about it. It's just like a whole family that you are with, and everybody cares about each other. And when you go to a fight, you always cheer for each other, which is really good, just for the atmosphere and everything.
What goes through your mind before a fight, and how do you cope with it?
I get really nervous, but you start talking to yourself and telling yourself that you're a better fighter than that guy is, and you'll win. And yeah, it's just trying to calm down before a fight from the nervousness.
Is boxing for anybody?
It could be. You just have to put the time in and the motivation. You have to have motivation to do it.
Has boxing disciplined you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, it's told me it won't let me eat some of the stuff that I want, just because you have to make weight for fights and stuff. And overall, you're just a better person outside of boxing.
Do you think coaches influence you in any way?
Yes, coaches have a big influence on everybody. They're the ones that you always listen to. They're the ones you're always with. They always tell you what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat. And yeah, it's just, coaches have a big part in this sport.
Would you say boxing keeps you out of trouble?
Yes, definitely. I get to pile up all my anger inside and then come to the gym and release it. So yeah.
Would you recommend boxing to people coming from a troubled home or facing the unknown of life?
Yeah, I definitely would. It's a really good sport just to take anger out, and also just to find that family that you don't have at home maybe. It's really good to come in here and you see all your friends and the coaches who are like pretty much your parents almost when you're in the gym. So yeah, when you come into the gym, you feel accepted. So it's really good for people that maybe have trouble with past or home or whatever. They can come in and fit in with everybody here, because everybody wants the same thing here. They want to be the best fighter.
What's your name?
Kevin McDermott, coach Calgary Boxing Club.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead.
What influences do you think CBC and you have on the boxers?
I think what it does, the biggest influence is you only get out of life what you put into it. You put the effort in, and most of the time you come out with a result. In boxing, if you put in the effort, most of the time you come out with a result, and the same as in life. Put an effort in your job, put an effort in your school, most of the time you come out with a good result.
Okay. What's the best part of being a coach?
Watching young kids come into the gym. Not always just young kids, sometimes it's adults. And watching them come with no confidence, and 3 months later, after you've taught them the skills and how to defend themselves, they're moving around like a world champion, and you can see it in them.
What do you teach these athletes?
I would, like you said before, sometimes we're not really we're a boxing club, but we're not. What we're trying to do is teach young adults how to behave, and it's what you put into something. You work hard, and you're willing to train hard, whether it's at school or study hard, most of the time, things will work out for you. Not always, but if you keep plugging along, it won't be wasted. You'll always learn from it. Some good will come of it.
What made you want to be a coach?
After I was done boxing, I just loved the atmosphere of the gym, being around fighters, the smell of the gym, the sweat in the gym. Sometimes when you walk in, you can see the fear in the gym from some athletes. Just the whole package, you know. And I miss that, so I wanted to stick around and be around that.
Do you think you have any positive impacts on any athletes, and who?
I think I've had a positive influence on quite a few athletes. I've been doing this for, over 30 years, so I'm sure I've had so many parents write me letters about how their kids' schoolwork's improved. I've had kids I haven't seen in 30 years come up to me and say, you know, how going to the boxing club and some of the words I may have said to them after a fight influenced how they looked at themselves. I remember one time one kid came up to me and said his parents never wanted him to box, and I just so happened after his fight that day he had a black eye, and I said, you go home and you tell your parents that you fought like a world champ. And and that meant the world to him. And he comes back 30 years later and tells me something like that. Like, it's humbling. It really is. It's really humbling, some of the things that the kids come into the gym and say to you, and I'm coaching their kids now. Yeah, it's quite humbling.
Do you separate good and bad athletes? If so, how?
No, I don't separate good and bad athletes. I separate athletes that have more talent than others, which they do. Some kids just do have more talent, natural talent. Doesn't mean they're going to be better. A lot of time the athletes with all the talent are the laziest kids in the gym. And the other time the ones with no talent work the hardest. So just because you got the talent, you've got to develop talent. It doesn't make you a winner or a loser. Talent. It's there, and it's a gift, and you've got to feed that in the gym. Whereas a kid that has no talent, he can work hard and he can end up surpassing you if you're not careful. So no, talent is a gift that has to be fed though. Right? You can't let it starve. You've got to feed it. Right? You've got to put in the hard work.
What impacts do you think boxing can do to a person mentally and physically?
Like I mentioned before, boxing, it isn't what a lot of people think. It isn't two kids getting in there and knocking the hell out of each other. It's most of the time it's athletes that have trained many, many, many months, sacrificed for many months, just to get in there and try it once and find out if they really want to do it, right? You have to be disciplined, you have to come to the gym, you have to be willing to take your lumps in the gym, you have to be willing to be humble, because there's going to be days where you're going to get outboxed by smaller and younger kids, because they're more skilled, but you've got to put that away. You've got to put it in your toolbox, and you've got to learn from it and pull it out when you need it. And it teaches them that when you're in the ring, it's just you. There are no substitutions. There is no going halfway through the round and saying, Coach, I need someone else to jump in here. And once that bell goes, you've got to learn to survive. And we don't let them out that ring for 2 minutes. We teach them, once you're in there and the bell goes, you stay in there. We'll teach you how to survive in there. You can't be quitting, right? And that's what we teach them, and it's the same in life. There's going to be tough times, man, but you can't quit. You got to just tough it out and learn to get through it.
Okay. Do you focus on trying to influence certain kids?
Not really. We can't always. We don't always have the. What's the word I'm looking for? The ability to work on one kid all the time. A lot of times we have big groups. We have to work as groups. But when they are inspiring, we do focus on those athletes when they are sparring. I do have parents come to us and they say the kid may be bullied or the kid may be shy. So we pay a little bit more attention to them, keep an eye on them, make sure that they're not being bullied in the gym, make sure that they're having fun, right? Most important, you get aggressive. Some kids are just made for boxing, they're naturally aggressive. Other kids aren't. So you've got to nurture them along a little bit and let them know that it will get better. Every fighter in the world, every world champion in the world had his first day in the gym. Every one of them. So you're no different. You just got to keep coming and things will get better.
The mission at CBC is to create high-level athletes and create champions through training. For more information, go to calgaryboxingclub.net for information on recreational or competitive classes.